It's definitely something that is very individualized. My situation isn't going to look like yours. Having a backup plan, being okay with life completely changing.
Because your children need you more than anything.
Yeah.
What's up, everybody?
Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, I typically make motherhood, faith-based, and lifestyle videos, and today I thought it would be fun to have my husband and we can talk about the pros and cons of having kids.
It's a lot.
It is a lot. It's a big commitment, and I feel like a lot of the times nowadays I hear a lot of people saying they don't want kids.
It has a lot to do with what they've heard, I'm assuming, because everybody thinks, a lot of people think nowadays that it's hard to have kids, or like you're losing your life or all this stuff. But I think like there needs to be like more positive feedback as well that goes out there.
But for us, our story is a little bit of backstory. We got married, I was 21, he was 25, and then we had our first baby. We got pregnant 6 months later, and now, flash forward to 2025, I am pregnant with our third kid, so we're gonna have 3 under 3. So we had kids young, we had them fast. We've definitely learned a lot along the way.
For sure.
So we just wanted to share with you guys like the pros from our experience. I guess you can call them cons, because they're just not that we like regret having kids, but the harder things about having kids. So when you're deciding, hey, do I want kids, do I not? Like, do the benefits outweigh the cons? That's up to you to decide, but this is from our experience, what we have learned so far. I would go first and say, for a pro, I would say that they add so much to your life. Like, they truly do. Having kids, they add so much to your life. And that is going to be the people who carry on your legacy, who carry on whatever plans that you started. They're going to take over that and continue your heritage, down the line again and again and again. So I think going right off the bat, just to dive right off the deep end, that is a huge pro of having kids, is to be able to give life to someone else and continue your family line.
I don't know, for me it's like, when I think about that, it's more of, man, like when I'm 70, when I'm 80, like I don't want to regret not having kids, you know what I mean? Because like you're gonna need, as human beings, we need companion. We need people that would help us, especially when you get old. You don't want to be helpless, because, especially in America, it's so much easier because, well, it's not easy, but, you can go into a nursing home, and like they'll take care of you. But at the same time, like I'm sure most people in there would probably want their kids to see their kids, their grandchildren coming and seeing them. Because I'm sure it gets very boring without having any community or like people to come and see you. Man, even like if you have to adopt, like I'm sure it's really amazing to have people to come and see you. And like knowing that, hey, like you passed on whatever you've learned, you've passed on what you know to your children. You
passed on your wealth, everything that you've worked for, your whole life. You're passing that on to your family, adopted or your biological children. It's all the same. I can see it from a now perspective, where like I'm having kids for now and it's really hard, and raising babies, but this is just a season that shall pass, right? 100%. Like my son is already 2.5 and I'm like, where did the time go? So I can't even imagine like how fast it's gonna go. And by the time that we're 80, the sacrifice that I made now when I'm 20, or however old you are when you have kids, like that's gonna pay off in the long run, because you're gonna hopefully have a nice family to all be around. Like by that time, hopefully we have grandchildren and maybe even great grandchildren, depending on the timing of everything. But it's just, you have a family and you continue your family, because eventually your parents are gonna pass away. If you're the youngest sibling, your siblings might pass away. It's just like it continues the family and keeps it growing, if that makes sense.
100%. I guess like for me, even like to go back, it was the community that we had that actually like helped us, encourage us to have kids. We had young community with us. It was a group thing that we were doing. We got married because of them. Like we could have waited literally 4 years to get married. But like we had a really good community where they were, encouraging us. They were like they were so positive about like being married and having kids. And these are like, you know, like in their 20s, early 30s, you know, people. And it was just amazing to see. I was like, whoa, like, it just encouraged me, you know, like most of the time, I'm sure people, if you have a negative background around you, people around you where, you know, like they're scared to have kids and stuff like that, you're going to be one of those person too, you know?
Yeah.
But I think for us, it was really nice that we had those people, our group people, to help us like navigate through like, you know, the marriage part, the engagement part. I think when we met them, we were not even engaged.
No.
A few months later, I proposed to you. And then a year later, we got married because like we hanged out with them every week. And it was just nice to like see they were doing it, and I was like, wow, if they can do it, I can do it, you know. I saw it from a positive light, so I didn't have any other thought, like I didn't see it in any negative way. I don't know, it just made it so much easier for me to get married and have kids because I saw other people, you know, doing well as well. I remember telling them our second baby too. I was like, you guys, I literally told them, I was like, you guys, I messed up or something like that, and they knew exactly as a joke, but like they knew exactly what I was talking about. And they, you know, they celebrated it too. And like having people around you like that encourage you to have kids and that are happy, that helped a lot. 100%. I don't think we would have had children if we were not with them, you know what I mean? Like maybe, but like I don't think the timing would have been the same as it is now.
People who are in the same season as you too, because I think it's easy for people to misjudge when they're not in it, or if they were raised a certain way, like to see being parents or even being married as such a bad thing. So being around like-minded people, or people who are even like 10 steps ahead of you and where you want to be, is like so necessary and will help you to navigate any of the feelings that you may feel about being scared or unsure, or just you're going into a new season. So it's just nice to have somebody who's gone through it already, even if it's not much far ahead, just to be able to like walk by your side and be like, okay, if they could do it, then I can do it, you know?
For sure. Like when you see people raising their children well and like, you know, like organized and stuff like that, you're just like, wow, like I could do it too. And like you learn a way to train your kids in a better way, if that makes sense. And your children grow up to be well. Like our son, he's very sweet. Like he's very sweet. He's very nice. Like he opened the door for, you know, my wife yesterday, like the car door, you know, like, and then like even now he opens the main door and like he holds it for us. And I'm like, dude, like he's only 2.5.
And he'll be like, thank you.
Yeah. And he's only 2.5. And I'm like, wow. Like I may have been like, you know, a little bit annoyed when he was, you know, like a baby, because like, you know, I had to do so much work. I had to sacrifice everything. But now, only 2.5 years in, I'm like, wow, like I'm so glad I had him. Like kids can be helpful. It's just all depend on like, you know, how you raise them and like how they're raised too.
The hardest part of raising kids is training them.
Oh yeah.
Because you have to be consistent and they're not going to get it at first.
It's like a boot camp.
And you have to be patient, and like you have to learn to endure, which you learn as you grow, right? Like our kids, the babies come out and you learn how to raise them. Like they don't just walk right away, you know, they don't just talk, they don't 100%. Talk back yet.
And if it's your first one, like since you're not used to it, you might feel stressed out, you might get annoyed because like you don't understand the baby. Every baby is different too. But at the end of the day, it's like once you know them and you learn about them, and once they know you, it gets so much better. I wouldn't say it gets easier. I think you just get used to it. And even if it gets challenging, it's like you're just, your body is made, your mind is made for having children. Literally, like you just know somehow.
No, that's true. It's like before you ever step foot in a gym, like say you never worked out one day in your life, and the first day you try to run for 30 minutes on the treadmill, you're gonna hate it. Like you're really actually gonna hate it. And it's gonna be hard.
Sore. You're gonna be sore for a few days too.
But then if you keep showing up every single day and running for 30 minutes, it's gonna become easy. And then you can add more. You can add weight, you can add time, you can add incline. So it's like that's kind of how it is the more kids you have, because we started off walking, like barely walking, and then day by day, like we could go up and up and up and up and up and just increase. And then when we added the next baby, it's like adding a weight, right? So it's still hard, but we're used to already going at the same pace that we're going. So it's like you don't just jump into parenthood. I mean, unless you're adopting, but like you go through from our experience, like you go through the 9 months of pregnancy, you have the baby, like everything is set up so perfectly and that you have time to grow. Like it's not just boom, the seed is planted and then the next day you have a kid and your life is forever flipped. It's like you have time to process and carry and go through all the things that you need to go through in order to get to that place.
It's actually amazing how it works too, because they don't walk the first day.
No.
Like, can you imagine if babies walk
and
the first day?
And they sleep a lot in the beginning.
So you use that time, you know, to hang out, whatever it is, together. Like, imagine if the kids, like, they start walking the first day. I would be going crazy. I'm like, nah, I don't want this. But it's so much nicer that they walk 9 months, a year later.
Second,
you know
like,
what I mean?
We didn't even realize she was here half the time because she was like sleeping.
She loves sleep.
She loved to sleep. And I was like, do I have a baby? Because like she's just sleeping all the time. And I actually wanted her to wake up more and like.
Our first baby was not like that.
Yeah, our first baby wasn't like that because, again, we were still learning, you know?
We didn't know a lot of things.
We hadn't stepped foot, quote unquote, in a gym yet. So it was just like caught us for surprise. But then when the second baby came, we were used to it. And it became actually very, very, very easy.
Yeah. I think the second baby we had was so much easier because we knew what we were doing.
Yeah.
And we were both together doing it. Like we were not, it wasn't just her doing the work. Like I was there helping, you know what I mean? Like if I have to wash the dishes, if I have to clean up the house, or like if she does that and I watch the kids, it doesn't matter. Like we both worked on it together. So that helped a lot. And I think that was easier for me because I didn't have a conventional job where, you know, like it's like 9 to 5. The work that I did at the time, like it was so easier for me to do it. So like it was perfect for us, I would say.
Yeah, it was good. I guess I will say, like, for a con, it can be hard to, like, change your finances because maybe you choose to stay home for a little bit and you're living off of one income, or there's so many different circumstances. It's hard to, like, kind of get them all in one.
It's harder, I would say, if you're spoiled, but, like, if you don't know how to live less than your means, you know what I mean? Like, let's say if you're making $5,000 a month, you have to be able to use the $5,000, not $6,000, not $7,000. You know what I mean? Like, like you have to be able to budget everything and live off that, because otherwise you're gonna be struggling. Like you're not gonna live the way you lived when you were courting or like when you were dating. You know what I mean? Like if you were going out every day when you were dating, now it's changed. You have another kid coming in. There's diapers. There's foods. There's all these things that are coming in.
There's medical bills now.
But even if you have money, it's like it's
just
a lot.
Changes.
Yeah, like you have to cook every day. Not every day, but like you have to cook for the baby now. Like you have to, like you have to do bottles every time now. Like 3 times a day. Actually not even 3 times. Sometimes even like 7 times a day.
Yeah.
When they're first born, right? Like so, that change is way different than
you have to buy cribs and everything that comes along with a newborn.
Yeah, so even if you have money, bro. It's like it's not easy. You have to set up everything.
I don't want to say it's not forever like this because like you have the kid forever, so it's like a lifelong commitment, and of course it's like our joy to provide for our kids, but it's not going to be the same as like just you guys living by yourself, and you have to kind of be aware of that and know that. Not that it's a con, but it's like something that you should be aware of.
Yeah. For us, one thing I would say for a pro was that you were home and like you weren't working. Like I just can't imagine if you were working how we would have been able to do it. Like I just can't imagine giving my kids up to daycare because I want my kids to like be with their mom. Like that's just me, and like she wanted to stay home too, and I was like, it was perfect. You know what I mean? I guess another con would be like if you are already established in the work field, like having to go back, otherwise you could be facing losing your job because they kind of expect you to come back. I don't like every job is different, but like I think it's 6 to 8 weeks, sometimes as early as that after you give birth, and mentally and emotionally that's like I cannot imagine doing that just from like my own mental state. Like if that's your case, you're gonna have to figure out how is everything gonna work out, you know, and like mentally prepare for that and find someone to care for your child. And if you do want to stay home and sacrifice, you know, you might not think you want to now, but when the baby comes you might change your mind. So it's like having a backup plan and like being okay with life completely changing. Even if you did have to lose your job,
to sacrifice for your kid, it's worth it at the end. But even if you decide to go back to work, because not everyone can stay home, you know, not even everyone desires to stay home. So it's just like there's a weight to both sides, and you just have to figure out what works best for you. Because I can't say to any specific person watching that you need to stay home with your kids, right? Because there's probably a lot of women out here who work very good jobs, and like they love what they do, and that they're actually needed by society, right?
For me, I wish we live in a society that like gives them like 3 years to just go home, like you know, be with their children. After 3 or 4, you can, you know, preschool and stuff happens, and like I just wish every mom could be home at least for the first like year and a half at least, you know, with their child,
or like they would have the option to do that. It's definitely something worth processing through and thinking about every situation, not out of fear and like not obsessing over it obviously, but like realistically, what would happen if I did leave my job? What would happen if I did go back? You know, what would happen if I stay home? Because then that's a sacrifice too. There's a lot of beautiful things that can happen out of that too. Like me staying home, I got to start my YouTube channel, and I got to do a lot of things that I could have never done if I would have had to return back to work. So it's like being patient and still, and just taking it day by day and not worrying about things too, I think is good.
You need to be rested. Like you have to be rested in knowing that, you know what, like life is okay. Like it's okay. Like I don't need to run around. I don't need to, you know, like go back to work right now. Like I'm sure a lot of women don't want to work, but they end up working because like they don't want to lose their job, or they don't want to, you know, like miss out and stuff like that.
Or
but
they
sometimes
have bills or student loans.
But like you just got to try to be rested. Like just you need to rest for at least a year if you can, and then go back to work. You know, like you don't know, you're gonna enjoy your children, and then you might even find a better opportunity to when you go out to work. Let God, you know, bring something into your life, whatever that is.
No, that's true. I think it's definitely something that is very individualized. Like my situation isn't going to look like yours. Even 2 stay-at-home mom situations are not going to look the same, right? So just figuring out what works best for you, and just, I mean, you don't figure it out right away even. So just literally you have to take it day by day.
If what you're making at your job is only covering for your children's daycare, I'll be like, nah, man, just you might as well stay home. You know what I mean? Like, because your children need you more than anything. Like they need you. They do. Especially their first like 3 years at least. Like that first year is like, you know, a baby needs their mom like at all time.
Okay, I guess you can kind of say this is a con in a way, because I was not expecting this. But when I say con, like take it with a grain of salt, because it's not like I regret it. It's just like something I didn't know. When you have kids, like your heart will never truly ever be the same. Your emotions, your heart, like you just like when you become a mom, I think it's just something like biological that happens, but like you can never not care for your kids. So it's just like a constant like, where are my kids? What are they doing? Like I love them. Are they okay? Are they fed? And all of that stuff. And so while some people might see that as like, dang, I don't want to have kids because like I don't want to like have my mind consumed by them, I would caution to say, like, it's not that your mind becomes consumed with them, but you literally just fall in love with them, and it comes naturally, right? Like it's not a burden, but it's like, now that I have kids, I love them and they're my main focus and priority. So it's like you can never go back to not having kids. Like your heart is always going to be with them wherever they go.
You duplicated yourself, and this is like literally your heart. Like put your heart out in a flesh and like walking around everywhere. You're just like, oh my gosh, this is my baby. It's mine. Like not somebody else's. This is mine. You know, like if you think about it, like whenever you hold somebody's baby, you can love him. You can love that baby, but it's not your baby. You don't feel the same emotion.
It's completely different.
But like when you have your own baby, you're like, this is mine. Like literally, this is mine. And like even when we go on dates, it's like our mind is still, not that we're consumed by it, but it's like we still think about our kids and like we're wondering how they're doing, and it's just like your mind will never go back to not having kids. Like your mind literally completely changes. In a good way.
In a good way. But I feel like some people can take that without knowing in a negative way.
one thing I want to say too, if you really want to have a good time in having children, I would say that you need to work on yourself. You need to work on your mind. You need to work on your heart.
Yeah.
If you have bitterness in you, if you have offense in you, if you are hurt, if there is hurt in you, or if you're going through some terrible situation, a bad situation, it won't be easy for you the way you're gonna deal with your children.
Yeah.
Like, you're not gonna be nice to your children because that hurt is always gonna be there. That offense or whatever, that is. Yeah, like, especially, let's say, if the father is not around, or if the mom is not around, or like, if something happens in your life, you have to really be careful about how you're raising your children. Whatever is in your heart is going to come out and is going to reflect, and they're going to see it. And your children are going to suffer the consequences of your behavior. You really need to be in a good state of mind. Like, you gotta be in a positive state of mind. These children, they are, their mind is just blank. You know what I mean? Like, they're new. They haven't
actually
experienced.
like pure. Yeah, their mind is pure.
They're pure themselves. Their heart is pure. They don't know how to hurt someone. They don't know how to, they don't know anything bad. They're just blank, and they're just so sweet. You don't want your children to learn bad stuff from you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, you need to be a light to them, and that's it. Like, you have to be able to hold your inner pain away from them. They should not be able to see that. They shouldn't see it. Like, growing up, I remember my parents never really fought in front of us. They, even if they had arguments and stuff like that, it would be away from us. Like, growing up, I never really got to see my family doing that until later on, until I started growing up. I got to see it, but but as a baby, at least the first 5, 6, 7 years, children shouldn't learn any of your bad habits, anger, or whatever it is from you. Does that make sense? Because that's the most important developmental stage for them.
Which no one's perfect too.
No one is perfect, but you have to do the best that you can to protect them from yourself. Not even from somebody else. Of course, 100% from someone outside, but even from yourself, you have to protect them, because we're not perfect, right? We've grown in so many different situations. There might be anger in you, there might be bitterness in you, whatever it is. You need to shield your kids from that. They need to be shielded, because they're going to act just like you are when they grow up. When they're 5, when they're 6, bro, I'm telling you, they are a carbon copy of you. They are going to be copy and paste. So whenever I see my child acting out whatever it is, I'm like, dude, he's acting kind of like me.
Yeah, you know or I mean? When he's saying stop, and it's well, we just told him to stop, so of course he's gonna say stop.
He says stop to everyone and to me, because I'm telling him, hey, stop,
or
stop
no,
doing that.
No,
or
I remember.
I tell him no, I'm like, no, don't do that.
He used to say no
and
all the time.
He just learns that. They just put that in there.
Yeah.
Everything that you do to them, they're learning, because it's not like they've learned it already. They're learning from you. You are their number one teacher. So you have to shield them from all the bad or the bad side of humanity. You know what I mean?
Or and even the way that you've been parented too is can happen so fast. And even if you don't want to parent like that, it just comes natural, because you might not know any better. But there's growth, and there's grace, and there's learning that you have to do. But being intentional, and even if you think that you might not get angry ever, but when you become a parent, then you're stretched in so many different ways. Maybe you see anger come back, and you're like, whoa, where did this come from? And you just have to be aware of that, and constantly self-aware of 100%. Am I putting this on my child? Am I getting angry with them over something that I need to do, or because I'm getting impatient, or because I feel like my time, or whatever the situation might be. But just knowing that.
Yeah, you have to be able to protect them from yourself too, from all the the bad side of you, or whatever it is. You need to protect them from that. Because generational patterns are transferred that way. You know what I mean? If the children see their parents drinking all the time, and drunk, not only drinking but drunk, and they're fighting, whatever it is, that's going to stick with them. And they're going to drink when they're still young, and they're going to fight. These things are transferred. This literally, it's a generational. Not only curses are something else.
Yeah.
But like generational patterns that's how they are born.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So like, and you have to protect your children from it.
Yeah, because even with the good too, they learn the good from you too.
Oh, yeah.
So like when we say thank you, or like he sees Cal open the door for me, or me hold the door open for them and be like, okay, let's go, like just being nice, like they catch on to that too. Like that's literally how they've gotten their manners, is like because we've just always said thank you and like around them. So now they are a reflection of that and doing that too.
I'm telling you, they see you, they see everything that you're doing, and they're going to do it, and you can't be mad at them for that because they got it from you. You know, a lot of times like people try to get mad at their children for doing something they already did, that they've been doing. It's your fault. You know what I mean?
Like we used to get mad at our son, not like mad, but like we used to just tell him no, and then we would get mad when he tells us no.
Yeah, and I'm like,
and we're like,
huh?
we're like, don't tell him no. But then in our adult mind, like we think like he should know better, but he's like literally
he's
a baby, and it's like it doesn't work like that.
They're sponge. Like I see them as a sponge. They're literally just consuming everything that you have.
Yeah.
Your good side, your bad side.
I feel like kids just make you a better person in general, because like when you're alone or single or whatever, you have so much time to yourself. Like you can really become like selfish, and then when you have kids, it's like the spotlight comes off of you and onto your kids. You have to raise them, and just life looks so different. So it's like you become less selfish in the process, and you become a better person, I would say, in the process of having kids.
Go ahead and have babies, y'all.
Oh my gosh.
I'm serious though. Like babies only bring good.
Even like for us, like sometimes we could be like, oh, I wish we had more time together like before we got pregnant, because we got pregnant 6 months after we got married. But for what though? Because like that time that we have together is just gonna go, right? Us having kids is the best thing that we could have ever done for ourselves, for our future selves, for us right now. Truly having kids at that time when we did was the best thing that we could have ever truly
100%.
ever done.
If I could, I wish I had my children when I was like 20.
Yeah.
Or something like that, like 20, like, because like by the time I turn 40, they're gonna be 20, and I'm still young and I'm still active, you know what I mean? Like,
no, that's true.
And I have literally like 60 years ahead of me to like enjoy myself, all this stuff, you know what I mean? But like sometimes we get tricked into believing that life is passing by or whatever it is. No, man, like you need to be wise. Like you can't just be smart, you have to be wise. Wisdom says literally have children, and then like you don't know when you're gonna be called, you know, to go home or whatever it is, you know what I mean? Like like you gotta be wise in everything that you do, and even the way that you raise your children. Wisdom comes first.
I don't know, I feel like overall the pros for me like definitely outweighed any cons. Like
I don't even think about cons.
Another con you could say is like your body changes, but that's just superficial. At the end of the day, like your body changes or not, you have this beautiful gift in front of you. Like you literally made a human. Like there's no machine, there's nothing that can do that what you just did. So body wise, like while some might see that as a con, it's like that's so superficial, and literally I would choose to have kids over a nice body any day. And there's still things that you can do to help your body and get back to a good place.
Eat organic food, eat whole foods.
Work out, like just even take care of yourself.
At least go walk. At least walk for, you know, a few times a day or whatever it is. Like even like once in the morning. Like just make time to eat well. Like you don't have to eat junk food all the time, you know what I mean? Like if you can just cut carbs, a good amount of carbs and sugar, and then just walk. Even if you can't walk, at least just eat well. You'll be like, you'll get better. Your body's gonna get better, you know what I mean? It's not easy, but you just have to do it again and again, and you'll see the difference. And if you're taking care of yourself actively, like your body's not even gonna change much anyways, because of course it takes 9 months to grow a baby, so give yourself grace in that to go back, and don't rush into like going back into your old body, because you honestly have to say kind of goodbye in a way, because even if your body goes back to looking the same, you will always know that you gave birth and went through this. You can see that as a con, or you can see it as a pro. My body got to
carry life. And that's honestly the coolest thing. No scientist can ever replicate that. I would say, yeah, for us, the pros definitely outweighed any of the cons, even with like cons of finances or fear or our situation. We started in a 1-bedroom apartment. We had our first baby in the 1-bedroom apartment, and we were like, logically, we don't know how this is going to work out. But then God literally provided for us in having our second baby. We moved into a 2-bedroom, and everything is just worked out. So don't be afraid in stepping into something, even when it doesn't look like everything should. Logically, it might not make sense, but God will literally provide for you. If He's giving you this child, He's giving you provision, and everything will work out. You don't have to be scared, and everything is not on you at the end of the day.
Yeah. If you make yourself your own God, then I can see why you're struggling to trust life and stuff like that. But if you can just have faith that everything would work out and God will figure it out for you, trust me, every children, a blessing is going to come to you. I'm serious, bro. Like, every fear that I have is literally destroyed. And the fears were just in my mind, and they never really happened. So it's like, dude, like, God has been watching out for me this whole time. And
and a child doesn't care what car you drive. A child does not care what house you live in. The only thing that they care about is that they have their parents and that they're loved and cared for. That's literally it. Honestly, they don't even care if they have organic food versus non-organic food. If their belly is full and they're happy and content, if you can only provide that for them, you're providing everything for them.
And you also can't care. You should not care about what other people. Don't try to strive to be other people. Don't try to be like competing with other people. Like, don't even think about other people. Even like, not even for a second. You can't,
because every situation is different and unique. And even that too, like, a child doesn't care if they have a nursery or not. They literally don't. They just need your arms. They just need to feel safe with you. They don't care if they have a $50 car seat or a $5,000 car seat. To them, it does not matter, and it will never matter. It will never matter to them. So they just need a present and loving parents to raise them and to love them and to enjoy being with them, because they know if you enjoy being with them or not. For us, in our situation, the pros outweigh the cons 100 times, again and again and again.
My only con is that I didn't have children younger.
Yeah, you didn't meet me at a younger age.
Yeah.
It is stretching. Like, don't get me wrong, it's not just all
I'm chilling.
giggles and stuff. Like, it's not just all fairy tale. Like, you're gonna have to be stretched, right? But it's so worth it.
You'll get used to it.
You'll get used to it, but it's so worth it. Everything that you go through is so worth it.
It'll be tough at first, but I'm telling you, you'll get used to it. You won't even think that you have children. Like, you're just gonna be like, oh, like, I'm living my life.
This is life now.
This is life now.
Yeah.
Like, I can't imagine being single again, or like, not having kids. Nope.
Like, this life is so much better than
when I was single.
Being single, or
even being married and not having kids.
Yeah, even trading this. Like, I would never trade my kids for free time or time to do whatever I want. To travel, or
I'm good.
Whatever normal 25-year-olds do. I would not. I wouldn't. And it's truly just a blessing.
Yeah. Can't trade this for anything.
And we recommend it to everybody who is married listening to this.
But you got to have a good mindset. Otherwise, it's going to be tough for you.
And make sure you have a good partner, too. Yeah. Don't have a baby with just anybody. Like, you have to know that they're here. They're here for the long run. They love you.
Don't get finessed.
Don't, please. Like, please.
Don't
you
become
need
a baby
to have,
machine, yo.
Don't become, yeah.
Don't become a baby machine. Do it the right way.
Yeah.
Like, have people involved. Know his parents. Know his everything. Literally, know.
Be committed.
Everything. Be committed.
Be committed.
Like, make sure he's committed. Do not. Any red flag that you see, don't be tripping, bro. Don't just be gullible and go into it.
Yeah.
Because whatever that you see, all the red flags you see, it's going to be even bigger when you get married. Yeah. You have to be very, very careful. Like, he needs an accountability, person or whatever it is. Do, marriage therapy, or what is it? Counseling. Bro, if I was you, like, I would go to church. Even if you don't go to church, go find a good church that, like, that does marriage counseling and stuff like that. Even if you're not a believer, just go. I'm telling you, you need to find the right partner. Otherwise, it's gonna be terrible. Yeah. Because imagine the guy leaves after you have children. I'm not trying to put that fear in you, but you have to know the person, and like you have to know them well before you have children with them.
Knowing someone well does not take 5 years.
It doesn't take 5 years.
It doesn't. You will know. Truly, you will know from the bottom of your heart if it's right or not. And don't ignore the feelings that it's not right just because you're afraid to be alone or afraid, to go through whatever. Just find someone good. Make sure that they're from God. Literally, please, because it's not easy. I literally was in a family that was divorced and my dad left, and seeing how hard that was for my mom. Like, it's not easy. It's not like the road that you want to go down. So yes, find a good spouse and all will be well.
Do it the right way. Find people.
Find a good community. Yes, take care of yourself and take care of your mind, and having kids will be truly the best thing that you will ever do.
100%.
So
thank you guys.
I
hope that helps. Godly, it's been like 40 something minutes, but like I'm excited that we were able to share, and I'm excited for what you guys would say for it too. I'm sure your lifestyle would be different, your life story would be different, but this has been like ours. And whatever you want to take for a grain of salt, do it.
So let us know in the comments if you guys have kids, if you desire to have kids, if what your life circumstances looks like. If you agree with what we said, if you disagree with what we said, let us know. We would love to hear you guys' input and
have kids. Pop them out left and right.
Okay.
I'm just joking.
Yeah. But anyways, we will see you guys on the next video. Love you guys. Bye.
Bye.